Become aware of the breath. Become aware of the body breathing itself. The being breathing itself.
Okay, greetings everybody, and Grand Rising if you're doing this in the morning. This is a really great morning flow for winter season during the beginning of the colder days. So like January, when we're starting to experience, depending on where you are, maybe a little snow, some rain, the cold winds, high winds. So this flow is going to be grounding, but also heating. Keep in mind that heat, that nature of heat could be in the body, so like sweating and getting warm, and it can also mean heat in the mind. So, getting maybe a little bit frustrated because we're going to be grounding and holding our poses and breathing through that and finding our focus there. So if you find yourself getting a little heated in the mind, just return back to your body, to your breath, get out of your head and come into the moment, come into your body, the different places that I bring your focus, your drishti into when I mention it, focusing on your breath, keeping your breath the same, keeping inhales and exhales the same. If at any time you're doing something that is compromising your breath, so, bringing on a labored breath, a little too labored where you're feeling disrupted in your flow, then just ease up on the intensity on your own, okay? What you're gonna need for this flow is a meditation pillow. If you don't have a meditation pillow like this, then maybe like a couch pillow or a bolster, whether a yoga bolster or a couch bolster. You can really just kind of make anything work. Just make sure it's firm. You do want some support because when you sit on the pillow, you want your hips to be either the same height as your knees or above. So there's no such thing as too high, but there is a such thing as too low. And if you're going to stay with us for the meditation at the end, then I'll show you a couple different ways to sit. But you do have that option after Shavasana to either go on about your day or stay for an extra 15 minutes for meditation, which I highly recommend for a well-balanced routine. So meditation pillow is one thing you need, or a pillow or some type of seat cushion, and 2 blocks, okay guys? So I'm gonna grab my blocks and just have them near the front of the mat. You can put one on one side and one on the other side to make it easy. Okay, so we're gonna start off, and I've been having my morning coffee. Wonderful. And that's cooling down now. I'm gonna keep my socks on because they're so cozy. It is cold, but I'll probably be taking them off towards the middle of the session. So coming to hands and knees. If you want to do a few cat-cows on your own, go for that. Just take a few of them. Inhale, arc the spine, pull the mat towards you with your palms as you lift the chest forward and gaze not too far up, but slightly forward and slightly up. And as you exhale, you're going to round the spine. So push the ground down, drop the head, chin to chest, tilt the tailbone down towards the heels, rounding the upper back. On your own, inhale to arc and exhale to round. As you exhale, make sure you draw the belly up towards the spine as you're rounding the spine. And if you want to make any other movements that feel good here, go ahead, hip circles, figure 8s, back and forth. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take child's pose. So tops of the feet come flat on the mat, butt to heels now. Typically, instructors like to have the knees closed and you're in child's pose. I say do what feels good. If having your knees close together makes your child pose feel kind of constricted, right, to bring the forehead down if you can't bring it down, I say go ahead and separate the knees so that you can bring your forehead down. If in any variation you're not able to bring your forehead down, then please do grab a block because you want your forehead to come down so you can relax the back of your neck and your shoulders. So grab a block, place it where your forehead will be, and that's where your forehead will go. So that way you can just rest your forehead into either the mat or the block. So coming into your variation of child's pose, reach the arms forward. Extend them forward. So get a little length in the torso here. I like to kind of shimmy left to right. I like my ribs to kind of be pressing against my inner thighs because I have my knees separated, but take what variation feels good to you. Once your arms are forward here, go ahead and bring your backs of your hands to the small of your back. All right, taking one hand and back of one hand and placing it into the palm of the other, so both palms are up. Relax the shoulders, let them fall forward. Relax the forehead into the mat so that the back of the neck can relax. Feel that release of tension in the back of the neck as you surrender into the earth. Now, on your next inhale breath, you're going to inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up overhead as you raise your hips forward. Press the hips forward as your fingers come to the ceiling. You don't have to look up. If it feels good to look up, look up. If you want to just look forward, look forward. But if you notice you're sticking your chin out, bring it back, okay? Bring it back so we keep that nice alignment in the back of the neck so it's not like that curve. I forgot what chiropractors call that something, where we're like this. So push it back, reach up, hips pressing forward. As you exhale, you're going to bring the hands back to the small of the lower back and come back into child's pose, but turn your head to the left and bring the right side of the head down to the block or the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Press the hips forward as you rise. Exhale, sweep the hands back behind you and turn your head to the right as you lower the left side of the head to the mat or the block. Inhale, sweep up, out and up. Press hips forward. Exhale, hands behind you, turn head to the left and lower. Inhale, arms up, hips forward. Exhale, sweep down and back. Turn the head to the right. 2 more rounds on your own. So left and right is 1 round. Sync your breath with your movement. Try to move slow, which means try to breathe slow, but just make sure that your breaths are not labored. So breathe at your version of slow. Your rate of slow, what slow is for you. It's like the inhale inflates you up as the breath rises, you rise, and as you exhale, the breath descends and you descend with it. Inhale, come back up, sweep the arms up overhead, reach the fingers forward. Now looking at the fingers, exhale, bring the hands back to the mat so that you're like in tabletop. Now I'm gonna take my socks off, I'm already warm. You should feel a little internal warmth just from simply slowing down the breath and syncing breath with movement. That alone creates warmth. So you don't even necessarily have to have physically challenging poses to accumulate or to produce heat in the body. So walk the hands to the top of the mat. Let's come into down dog. Pedal out the feet, just kind of warming up the calves, the legs, backs of the legs. Drop the head, let it kind of hang. And maybe turn your head left and right. Bending the knees if that feels good. And then go ahead and walk your hands towards the top of the mat. You can bend your knees to do that or keep them straight. And bring your feet, bend your knees here now generously so that there's, no strain if you're still tight back here on the back of your legs. There's no strain there. Feet are a little closer than hip width distance apart here. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms forward, bringing them up towards the ears, the biceps up towards the ears. Reach forward here, bend a little deeper. Inhale, straighten the whole body up, arms going up. Exhale, hands in prayer to the heart. Feet hip width distance apart or maybe a little less. Tailbone tilting down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, reach up, creating length in the side body. And now as you exhale, I want you guys to hinge at the hips forward. But as you're hinging, you're gonna come halfway. Come halfway forward, hinging at the hips. You can bend the knees a little and really reach forward with your arms as you're pressing your butt back. And exhale, keep bending the knees as you lower down, forward fold. Belly and ribs come resting on thighs. Drop the head, chin to chest. Bend the knees a little deeper. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Reaching back, pressing the tailbone down here. Just a very small movement. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Line up the biceps with the ears. Exhale, maybe sit a little deeper. Inhale, keep the knees bent. Lift the arms and the chest. Keep tilting the tailbone down. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten the legs. Bend back a little bit, so press the arms back. Open the chest. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. One full breath. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Reach the fingers up. Exhale, hinge the hips forward as you fold. Your torso and arms are all moving at the same accord. Bend the knees as you fold over legs. Drop the head, chin to chest. Bend the knees deeper like you're sitting in a chair. Inhale, sweep the hands to the back. Exhale here. Inhale, sweep the hands forward. Line the arms up with the ears. Exhale here. Keep the knees bent, bend a little deeper. Inhale, lift the chest with the arms. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach up and back, slight upper back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Tailbone tilting down towards the heels. One full breath here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold halfway. Then bend the knees and continue hinging at the hips, bringing belly to thighs, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back this time. So exhale, bend the knees deep in the chair, sweep the arms back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, lining biceps up with the ears. Exhale here. Bend a little deeper. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms. Tilt the tailbone down. Exhale, belly towards spine. Inhale, straighten the legs. Reach up and slightly back. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Couple breaths here. Close the eyes and just feel wherever you can feel heat in the body. Notice the heart rate. Checking your feet, making sure they're about hip width distance. Not too wide, not too narrow. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Reach the fingers up, maybe slightly back if that feels good. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Belly to thighs, drop head, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bring your fingers to the mat. Step the right foot back, lower the right knee down. Press the right top of the foot into the mat. You can also curl your toes if that feels better for you. I like top of the foot pressing down, but you'll see when we come up. Now, before you rise, inhale, sweep the arms forward. Line the biceps up with the ears. You're looking straight down at the mat. Bring the top of the head back, so it's almost like bringing the top of the head slightly towards the ceiling, just so your chin's not dropping. And then in next inhale, as you're pressing the top of that back foot into the mat and the left foot down into the mat, inhale, sweep the arms and the torso up. Lift the arms and the torso up. Now, you want to have square hips here. So if you've got the right hip kind of back, if your pelvis is pointing a little towards the right, you want your pelvis pointing to the center of the mat, center of your pelvis. Okay, so left hip back, right hip forward slightly for square hips. And you're gently pressing down on that back foot. Now inhale, press the arms back, and as you press them back, make sure you're tilting your tailbone down. So we're not going for a back bend here. We're trying to keep the spine straight while also deepening the pose and leaning back. So you should start shaking a little bit, maybe even feel a little bit of an ab workout because you're pressing back, but you're keeping yourself up at the same time. I can keep my hips square by gently pressing the left foot down and forward, and by pressing the top of the right foot down into the mat. Gently though. Press the arms back, tailbone down. Exhale, bring the fingers to the front of the mat. Step the right foot forward, bent knees, folding over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Drop the head, chin to chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. As you rise, try to hinge at the hips to come up. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach forward as you fold forward, hinging at the hips. Bend the knees, fold over the legs, belly to thighs, chin, chest. Inhale, flat back. Press the shoulders away from the ears and flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Left foot steps back, left knee lowers. Inhale, first reach the arms forward and then lift everything up together. Exhale, tilt the tailbone down. When you tilt that tailbone down, you should feel a little stretch, a little parting in the left upper thigh. Square the hips. Inhale, reach the fingers high. Exhale, press the arms back. Pressing back, but keep tilting the tailbone down and make sure you're drawing your chin back. Every inhale breath, I want you to get a little longer in the side waist by reaching a little higher. Exhale, bring the fingers to the mat. Step the left foot forward. Fold over the legs with bent knees if you need to. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up as you rise, hinging at the hips, lifting yourself up from the back body as you rise. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Keep tilting the tailbone down. We're going to do one more round. So that's left, right, and left. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, reach forward as you fold forward. Hinging at the hips, bend the knees if you need to, forward fold. Belly always touching the thighs. Whether your legs are straight or bent, you want your belly touching thighs. So whatever leg position you need to do, or whatever degree in your knee bend for your belly to touch thighs, do that. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Right foot steps back. Right knee lowers. Inhale, sweep forward first, line up with the ears, and then lift everything else. Square the hips, tilt the tailbone down. Inhale, reach high. So you're lifting the spine as you inhale. As you exhale, keep the lift in that spine and press the arms back. Keep tilting the tailbone down. Inhale, lift some more. Exhale, keep the length. Press the arms back, maybe bend back a little more. Should be a little shaking here. Remember, gently press the front foot down and forward and gently press into the top of the back foot. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Right foot steps forward, fold over legs. Belly, thighs, chin, chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms up, lifting up through the back body and hinging at the hips. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reach forward as you fold forward. Press the butt back, reach the fingers forward, bend the knees and fold. Always creating length in the spine and the torso. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers up to the mat, left foot steps back, left knee lowers. Inhale, reach forward first, and on the same inhale, lift it all. Exhale, tilt the tailbone down, establish your grounding with your feet, square the hips. Inhale, create length and reach up, lift the chest, lift the spine. Exhale, press the arms back, lean back, but you're pressing into the back of that left foot as you lean back and pressing the right foot down and forward. Keep tilting the tailbone down. Breathe up into the armpits. Exhale, bring the fingers to the mat. Left foot steps forward, folding over the legs. Hanging here in ragdoll, take opposite elbows. I like to cross my arms, but if you want to grab opposite elbows, go ahead. I mean, it's the same, but I can relax a little bit more when I just cross my arms and put my hands in my elbow crease. You can sway from left to right, whatever feels good. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just drop the arms, the hands. Keep the chin to the chest and roll yourself up. Be slow. Keep the abs engaged. You're just uncurling the spine. Keep the chin to chest until the shoulders roll back. And then lift the head. Inhale, sweep arms up overhead. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. One full breath here, just to recenter your breath. Equal inhales to equal exhales. Remember, we want at least 3 seconds of an inhale and exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips as you reach forward and fold over the legs. Take your variation of your forward fold, belly to thighs, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Right foot steps back, right knee lowers. Press the top of that right foot gently into the mat. Inhale, reach forward first. Same inhale, everything comes up. Tilt the tailbone down. Lift the fingers. Exhale, press back a little further. Bring the chin back. Now as you exhale, bring that right hand, right fingertips down to the mat on the inside of the right foot, but just make sure that your right wrist is like right under the right shoulder or slightly above it, okay? Reach back with that left hand, left arm. Curl the back toes. And then you're gonna straighten the back leg as you come up, twisting to the left. Sweep the left arm down and forward and bring both arms up. Don't worry, we'll do it again on the other side. Bend into the left knee as much as it feels good to you and just keep the hips square. So left hip shifts back a little, right forward. As you exhale, step the right foot forward. Bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair and sweep the hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Reach those arms forward as you press the butt back, bend into the knees. Exhale. Inhale, lift the arms in the chest. Exhale. Inhale, straighten up. Reach up, press back. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you reach forward to fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift up through the back body. Hands in prayer. Exhale, prayer, hands to the heart. Check your breath. Drop the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms around and up. Exhale, reach forward. Press the butt back as you fold forward. You can bend the knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step that left foot back, fingers to the mat. Left knee lowers. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. So sweep forward first and then lift it all. Now, as you're squaring your hips and dropping the tailbone and getting yourself right, I'm just going to remind you how this goes. On an exhale breath, those left fingers are going to come down to the mat. And I'm just demonstrating right now. And you want to stay on tented fingers. All right, so in one full exhale breath, fingers come down, right arm sweeps towards the back, and you lift the back knee, okay? So it looks like this. Before we do it together, I'm inhaling. Exhale. Okay? So, coming back up, or I'm coming back up. If you hear all that noise, that's Thai. All right, so here we go. Exhale, left fingers sweep down, right fingers reach back, left knee lifts. Inhale, you're gonna windmill, left arm reaches up, sweep that right arm forward, windmilling the arms up too. Or you can go the other way, whichever direction you wanna swing that right arm. Don't worry, we're gonna do it again on each side. Square the hips. Exhale, left foot's gonna step forward. Keep the knees bent like you're sitting in a chair. Sweep the arms to the back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Line the biceps up with the ears. Exhale, sit a little deeper. Tilt the tailbone down. Inhale, lift the chest and the arms. Keep the knees bent. Exhale here. Inhale, straighten all the way up. Reaching back. Opening up the heart. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you fold over the legs. He knows he can get me when I'm recording. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift up through the back body. Hands in prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Take your breath or two. Feel the soles of the feet pressing into the mat. All right, one more time on each side. Let's inhale, drop the hands, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, reach forward as you fold, hinging at the hips, belly to thighs, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat, right foot back, right knee lowers. Inhale, arms reach forward, and then you lift with the arms. A couple breaths here to establish your grounding, your posture. Get the length in the spine as you inhale. Keep that length. Exhale, bring the right fingertips to the mat. Sweep the left arm back, lift the right knee. Inhale, come up and windmill the arms forward. Exhale here, bend into the left knee if you can. Tilt the tailbone down, square the hips, reach up, create length in the spine as you inhale. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Keep the knees bent like you're sitting in a chair. Sweep the hands to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Line the biceps up with the ears. Reach the fingers forward. Exhale, bend deeper. Inhale, lift up into chair pose. Exhale. Inhale, straighten and lengthen the body. Reach back with the arms. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. From your flat back, reach your arms out to the sides and continue to lift up into Tadasana. Arms overhead, hands in prayer as you exhale. Prayer hands to the heart. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, reaching forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Left foot steps back, left knee lowers. Inhale, sweep the arms forward first, then lift everything together. A couple breaths here. Creating that length in the spine, keeping it as you create it each time. So don't let your spine compress back down with your exhale breaths. You're staying engaged. Exhale, left fingertips to the mat. Sweep the right arm to the back. Lift the left knee. Lift the left arm forward. Inhale, reaching, lifting the torso, windmill the arms up into crescent. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair. Sweep the hands to the back. Inhale, sweep the arms forward. Exhale, sit deeper. Tilt the tailbone down. Inhale, chair pose. Lift the arms, lift the torso. Exhale here. Inhale, extend the body up and slightly press back. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you reach forward, folding over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale here. Inhale, arms into a T, out to the sides as you lift up the back body to extend the arms up. Prayer hands as you exhale to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips and fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, and we're going to step back into down dog. You can pedal out the feet here a few times if that feels good. And then we're gonna bringing your feet, so your feet are about same thing, hip width distance, maybe a little narrower, about hip width, I'm gonna say. Push the mat back, grip the mat with the finger pads to kind of protect the wrist. Keep that left foot grounded. Inhale, right leg up, bend the right knee, open the hips to the right. As you exhale, close the hips. So bringing that right thigh to kind of brush the left inner thigh, and then bring that knee towards the chest, but stay in down dog. And then inhale, right knee goes back out to the right, opening the hips up to the right, so that right knee extends up to the sky, and exhale, bring it back down, center, towards the chest. Hip circles. Inhale out to the right and up. Exhale down and forward. Inhale right and up. Exhale down and forward. Lower that right foot, coming for the other side now. Inhale, left leg up, bend the left knee, open the hips to the left. Exhale, left knee down to the center and then to the chest. Inhale, out to the left, knee up towards the ceiling or the sky. Exhale, down and center. Inhale, out and up, open. Exhale, close, down and center. Release that left foot, pedal out the feet. Swing the hips, left to right. Walk the hands to the top of the mat and come into a wide leg. Nice and wide. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So you may want a block. You'll have to choose the level, but just think of it like this. If you're using the block, your butt's going to come to the block. So feet wide as the mat, maybe even wider depending on the length of your legs. Bend the knees, come into yogi squat. So hands into prayer. And then bring the arms, the elbows to the insides of the knees. So pressing the knees away from each other. And release the butt down to the block, or floating, meaning you don't have a block underneath you. So it depends on, the body and how you're feeling right now and what feels good, what feels like too much or not enough. And I'm going to do it with the block because my lower back needs a little bit more support. And this helps me keep my back nice and straight. So lift the chest. Now, if you can keep a lifted chest, tall spine, and remove the block, then go for it. But we'll be here for a few breaths. Breathing deep into that lower belly. Exhaling, slightly engaging the lower abs and the pelvic muscles. So like doing a Kegel when you exhale. Release that Kegel when you inhale. Lift the chest. Draw the chin back. You should feel like your spine is nice and straight. Shoulders away from the ears. Big breaths into the belly. Exhale, deflate the belly and do a Kegel. Last few breaths. I'm going to remove the block on my last few. Exhale. You can use the ground to kind of support yourself as you press back up, folding over the legs with wide legs. You can move the block if you had it. Heel toe your feet towards one another until you're back to hip width distance apart. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Lift up like a flat back, lifting through the back body, coming into Tadasana. Arms overhead, hands in prayer as you exhale to the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms, drop the hands, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, reaching arms forward and fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Right foot steps back. We're going to come into crescent. So bend the left knee. We still got the fingers on the mat. Now, we're going to really build up heat in the legs here. So what I would like for you to do, not you, Ty, is to kind of come to the fingertips. So you're not like using the ground to support your hands really, like to hold yourself. You're going to use your legs. So activate the legs. Before you do that, I want you to slightly shift the left hip back, right forward, so to keep the hips square. And then lift a little so you're just floating the fingers, barely touching the mat. See? Okay. From here, inhale, reach the arms forward first, and then everything comes up together. Inhale, reach up with the fingers, square the hips, tilt the tailbone down. Now as you exhale, moving just the back foot, lower the back foot, the back heel to the mat so that the right toes are pointing out at a 45. And then keeping the spine, imagine your spine is like a rod in the ground, and you're just gonna rotate on that rod, turning your chest, your torso to the right, opening your arms to the right. So you're in warrior two right now. So we're gonna do that again so you can kind of see the dynamic movement for when we put it all together. Inhale, lift that back heel back up. Sweep the right arm forward, and both arms come up. The only thing moving are your arms and your back foot. Exhale, lower the back heel, open the arms to the right. Now, if you have to readjust your back foot, that's fine. Inhale, lift the back heel, lift the arms forward and up as the torso comes to center. Exhale, lower back heel, open up into warrior two. Inhale, lift back heel, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, lower. Staying here for a bit. Inhale, reach the left arm forward. Like you're reaching over the top of that left thigh with your ribs. And then bring the left fingers, the left arm, to the inside of that left leg, but you're not bringing the fingers to the ground. Reach the right arm up. Turn your head, look up to the right fingers. Pressing, so now you're pressing along the outer edge of the back foot. So you're pressing up the whole right side of the right leg, all the way up through the hips, and you're also pressing that left foot down. Inhale, we're going to do the windmill. So come up into warrior two, sweep both arms forward, lift the back heel. Exhale, fingers come to the mat. Step that left foot back and down dog. You can pedal out the feet if that feels good. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, lower knees, chin and chest. Inhale, straighten the legs out behind you to lower the belly. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, cobra. Exhale, bend the knees, down dog. Inhale, right leg goes up. Bend the right knee, open hips. Exhale, step that right foot forward in between the legs, top of the mat. Okay, so we're in our runner's lunge. Right now, your fingers are probably pressing into the mat. So just lift slightly so that your fingers are barely brushing. Square the hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Ground in your feet. Inhale, reach the arms forward first, lining them up with the ears, and then lift everything together. Bring the ribs in. If your ribs are kind of poking out because you're like this, you're going to bring them in as you tilt the tailbone down. So you never want your ribs poking out. Unless we're doing something where we're like, but for this flow, we're keeping it tucked, keeping it engaged. Exhale, lower the back heel, and left arm reaches back, opening the torso to the left. Remember, your spine is like a rod in the ground. So when you're turning left and right, it's just this, like that, with the lift and the lower of the back heel. Make sure you're pressing that right knee out to the right. It is okay if you don't have a deep bend in the front knee, all right? We don't really worry about that too much here. Especially it depends on the health of your knees. Okay, so inhale, lift the back heel, sweep the back arm down and forward, both arms come up. Exhale, lower back heel, and open arms into a T. Adjust the back foot, find a nice, good, grounded position for you, but you want to make sure those back toes are not really out straight to the left. They're more so at a 45, slightly pointing forward. So because of that, your legs may not be spread as far apart. Inhale, lift the back heel, sweep the back arm forward. Exhale, lower back heel, open arms to the left. Inhale, lift back heel, sweep the arm down and forward. Press the hands, the arms back to the ears. Exhale, lower back heel, open to the left. One more time. Make sure you're squaring those hips. I be trying not to breathe all hard into the mic, y'all. Inhale, reach forward, but I'm breathing hard. Maybe because I'm talking and doing it, but this is a heated flow for me, so. Reach forward with that right arm. So you're reaching over the top of the right thigh with your right ribs. And then exhale, bring the back of that right arm to the inner right leg. You're not touching the ground with your fingers. Twist the torso to the left, the chest. Reach the left arm up and bring the left palm to face the front of the mat. Now, if reaching up is ever too much at any asana, you can bring the back of that hand to the lower back. Just make sure your shoulders, in any variation, that your shoulders are stacked. So left shoulder stacked over right. You can look down at the mat, or you can look over that left shoulder towards the sky, the ceiling. But you're gonna press into the outer edge of that back foot. Strong back leg, feel the energy going up the back leg, the side of that back leg. Inhale, come back up into T-arms. Exhale, lift the back heel and bring the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, step that back foot forward. Make sure the hips are square. Back foot forward, fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring the arms out to the sides. First, come into like a flat back and then continue to rise, lifting up through the back body. Arms overhead, hands in prayer. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Take a few moments if it feels good to close your eyes with hands in prayer or arms down by the sides with the palms facing forward. If you need to regulate your breath, do so now. We're going to go through that one more time on each side. We're just going to add something to it. You should feel the heat all through the body. Maybe along the way you notice some thoughts that are heating, and that's okay. This flow is all about bringing that stuff to the surface. Any flow is all about bringing it to the surface and washing it away with our breath and our movement and our intention and awareness. That's all you need. It's all you need to let go and move forward, no matter what the challenge. Intention, awareness, and compassion. So you practice that on the mat, having intention for your practice, having awareness of your movements and your breath that are in alignment with your intention, and having compassion for yourself if it's not perfect or if you have any struggle along the way. It's completely okay. Just stay with your intention and your awareness. All right, let's do one more round here. We're going to add a little something to it. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reach forward and fold over the legs, bending the knees, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Remember, we're going to hover, so before you start hovering your fingers, get your footing together, square the hips. Inhale, you're going to reach forward with the arms first and then lift everything together. Just keep tilting the tailbone down. Reach up as you inhale for length. Exhale, lower the back heel, tie, and open the arms to the right, warrior two. You can have palms up or down. I like my palms up. Tailbone also pointing down here as well. Inhale, reach forward with the left arm. Exhale, bring the left arm, back of that left arm to the inner left leg. Fingers are not touching the ground. Inhale, right arm up. Gazing up at the right fingers, right palm facing the front of the mat. Next inhale, bring that right arm over the right ear, look down. Exhale here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, look up towards the inner right arm. Exhale, right arm goes up, look down. Inhale, right arm over right ear, look up. Exhale, right arm goes up, look down. Inhale, right arm over right ear, look up. Exhale, arm up, look down. Inhale, right arm over right ear, look up. And now lift this left arm and reach forward. So it's like you're hovering over the top of that left thigh. Inhale, come back up. Woo! Sweep the arms, windmill them, come into crescent. Lift that back heel up. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Left foot steps back for down dog. Excuse me, Ty. You're back there. You know where to place yourself to get my ankles. Oh, you're giving me kisses. That's sweet. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, lower knees, chin and chest. Inhale, straighten the legs out behind you, lower the belly. Place the tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, lift into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Tie. Like, ouch. Inhale, left leg goes up. Bend the left knee, stack open the hips. Exhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands, top of the mat. Runner's lunge. Get your footing, ground your feet. Square the hips. Left hip back, right hip forward if you need a little assistance with squaring or guidance. And now hover the fingers. Strong legs. Dangling the arms. Inhale, sweep forward with the arms to the ears, then lift everything up. Oh, sorry guys. Come back down to down dog. Ha ha ha. Right leg goes up. Because we stepped back. What did we step back? Hold on, you guys. Oh, we did right foot back. Right? Right foot back. Oh, I know what I did, but that's okay. So right foot goes up, open the hips. Exhale, step the right foot forward in between the hands, top of the mat. Hovering the fingertips. So slightly lift the chest. You're kind of resting on the top of that right thigh. Square the hips. So if your hips are kind of open, square them forward. Inhale, reach the arms forward and all the way up with everything together. Exhale, lower the left heel, open into warrior two. Palms up, shoulders relaxed. Pressing that right knee out to the right, so it's not going into the center, which is kind of natural. Inhale, reach forward like you're trying to grab something. Exhale, right arm inside the right leg, left arm reaching up. Shoulders are stacked, left palm facing the front of the mat. Inhale, left arm over left ear, look down. Exhale, left arm reaches up, look up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, reach that right arm forward and look up or down, but I like up. Inhale, come up into warrior two. Exhale, lift the back heel, sweep the arms forward, arms go up. Square the hips, inhale here. Exhale, step forward with the left foot and fold over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold and take ragdoll. Inhale through the nose and exhale, flutter the lips to release heat. Do that as many times as you need. Exhale, release the hands and slowly roll up. Keep the chin to the chest. Head comes up when the shoulders roll back. Once the head is up, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, but keep looking forward. Exhale, hands in prayer to the heart. So I said keep looking forward instead of looking up, because when we roll up like that and then look up too fast, you can get dizzy. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips and fold over the legs. Belly to thighs, chin to chest. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step both feet back. Actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you, instead of both feet back, step the left foot back, but not too far back. Just like a regular step back. And try to keep the left heel flat and try to have the heel flat with the left toes as forward as possible. So fix your distance to where you can have it that way so your toes aren't too out to the left, but forward. Keep the hips square. Grab your 2 blocks and bring it to each side of that right foot. And then come up to stand with your feet in that position. Hips are square here. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, you're pressing that back foot down, pressing the right foot down and forward. And I always lift my front toes because it helps me press into my feet, like equally, because sometimes I like to be on the edges of my feet, and that's where I put most of my weight. So exhale, hinging at the hips, bring your fingers, hands to the blocks. So you may be like in a flat back. You can have your blocks at any height that feels good, and you can lower it as needed. If your hips kind of tilted to the left here, just square them off again. And exhale, squeeze your abs to fold forward. So you use your abs to press yourself forward. And drop the head. If you want to remove the blocks and go for the ground, if you have the space, do that. Your next exhale, step that left foot forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back, same thing on the other side. So and you can bring your feet wider if you need to, whatever you need to do with your feet so that you feel like you have the space in your hips to keep that right foot flat with the toes pointing forward. And then come up. Continue to adjust your feet however you need to. Arms overhead, hips are square to the front of the mat. Pelvis is pointing to the center front. Arms overhead. Inhale to create length in your spine, and as you exhale, keep that length in the spine as you fold, hinging at the hips, forward. Reach forward with your arms as you fold forward, and that helps keep the length. And you can have your blocks slightly in front if it helps to keep your length in the spine by reaching forward for the blocks and folding, you can do that. But if you can keep your length and do it this way, you can do that too by bringing the blocks closer. So those are your options, but just keep the length in the spine. It's like when you inhale, the top of the head is drawing forward. Imagine that, like someone's pulling your head towards the front of the mat, lengthening the spine. Keep pressing that back heel down. Drop the head if it feels good. And then as you exhale, step back into down dog. Pedal out the feet. Any movements in down dog that feel good. Inhale when you're ready. Come forward into plank. Rounding the spine as you come forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, cobra. Press the chin back. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes. Actually, don't curl the toes. Just turn over to your back. Come lying on the back. Bend your knees. Now, this may be new to some of you, but the more that you do my classes, the more you'll become familiar with this. I also plan on creating a little how-to video. I'm gonna lift my shirt up so that you can maybe see a little bit. And if you wanna watch first, you can. All right, so we're in this like prep for bridge pose, okay? So you're gonna bring your heels back so that you can just slightly brush the backs of the heels with the middle fingers. Tilt your tailbone down so your lower back is flat. And then you're gonna inhale, and so spread your fingers so that your thumbs are pointing up. So you're on the outer edge of your hands on the ground and your thumbs are pointing up and your fingers are spread, meaning there's space in between each finger. Now, inhale, and again, you can watch, you can do it with me. We'll do this for a few rounds. Inhale, press the hips up by pushing into the heels. Keep tilting the tailbone towards the heels, and at the same time, reach the arms back. All right, so now the thumbs are down. So you're pressing the hips up. Let me adjust my mic. Now you're going to take a deep inhale here and fill the belly up with air. And then you're going to exhale all of your breath out. Hold the breath out and draw the belly in and up to make like a suction in the belly. And then holding the breath like that and holding the belly like that, you're going to lower your butt back down and bring your arms back down before you release the breath. And when you do release the breath, you don't want to take a big gasp for air. So it may take practice, and that's okay. So I'm going to do it one time. So here we go. Feeling the breath, the belly. And released. And then we'll take a few breaths in between. So if you didn't do that one, let's go for the next one together, and I'll walk you through with my voice. Now, I can't do it and talk at the same time, so I'll walk you through it with my voice, and as you guys are doing it, then I'll do it. So inhale, press the hips up, arms overhead. Maybe take a few breaths here. Now fill the lungs up with air. Take a big breath in. Exhale all the breath out, every single bit. Hold the breath out and suck the belly in and up while holding the breath out. And then begin to lower your hips as you're holding the breath out and bring the arms back down to the sides of the body on the ground. You can keep holding the breath, or if you feel the urge to release, or when you do, release and take an inhale, but make sure it's controlled and you're not gasping for air. Like, okay? Like I said, it may take practice if you do gasp for air, if you don't do breath work and all that kind of stuff. This may be a bit much, but like I said, if you keep on with the practice, with our flows, we do breath work all the time. When we do this a lot, it's called Agnisara. We do this in various positions. So let's go 2 more rounds. Inhale, come up into bridge with the arms overhead. Next inhale, big breath in, and exhale it all out. Hold the breath out, suck the belly in and up. And don't do what I just did. I had lowered my butt first and then my arms. You want to bring the butt and arms down at the same time, just the way you go up at the same time. So one more time, all together. I won't be cueing. Begin. And then when you're done, bring your feet together, knees out to the sides. So butterfly legs, lying here. We're gonna transition from here into Shavasana. So just a few breaths either here in butterfly. If you wanna do any other movements like windshield wipe your knees or a lying twist or anything that feels good, happy baby. You can rock. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then just stay here for now. Relax. If you're in butterfly, make sure the knees are relaxed. Allow the insides of the soles of the feet to just press in together. As your knees go out, the feet press in. Transitioning into Shavasana, you can keep butterfly legs or take traditional Shavasana with your feet, your legs extended out, feet splayed out, arms out to the sides so that your armpits can breathe, so there's space in between the side body and the inner arm. Like as if you're getting ready to make snowflakes, not snowflakes, snow angels in the snow or in the ground. Yeah, the snow. We don't get snow. Well, we do in the mountains, but I'm down in the valley. I'm in the low desert, so we get rain and wind. And the mountains got some snow, and that's why it's been so cold. Palms are facing up. Take a moment to scan the body from the toes all the way up to the top of the head, making sure that everything is relaxed and comfortable. And just let yourself, the back of the body, melt into the mat. All the parts of your body touching the ground, let them melt into the ground. Backs of the arms melting into the ground, the back of the head, the upper back. Any parts of the back body touching the ground. Bring hyper focus, hyper awareness to those parts of the body. Really feel the pressing, the contact between the back of the body and the ground. Notice your breath, the natural rhythm of your breath. There's no need to change it. Bring your awareness to your breath now, flowing in and out of the nostrils. Imagine your breath is like the ocean's tide. Begin to feel and experience the breath like the tide of the ocean. And with each passing exhale, begin to count backwards from the number 11. As you reach 0, allow yourself to surrender into that space between each number. Now begin to notice the natural pause that follows each exhale. Don't force the pause. Notice that natural brief pause after each exhale. And now begin to extend that pause after each exhale without straining the breath. So being able to briefly extend the pause after each exhale without disturbing the inhale. Gradually extend the pause after the exhales without disturbing the inhale. And now begin to explore that pause, the gap in the breath. Notice the stillness and the space and the awareness that fills it. On your own, continue to experience and explore the gap, the pause, the sacred pause between the exhale and the inhale breath. Bringing awareness back to the body. Notice all the points on the back of the body in contact with the earth. Intensely feel all of those points. And wiggle the toes and fingers, turn the head from left to right. Bend the knees, extend the arms overhead. Deep inhale breath. Any movement that you like, anything that feels good. And when you're ready, roll over to one side. And keep the eyes closed, taking fetal position. Just a few breaths there, and when you're ready, gently open the eyes and press yourself up. Getting ready for meditation now. So go ahead and grab your meditation seat. So again, I said that I was going to show you a few ways. So traditional way with lotus pose. So you're always going to be on the edge if you're sitting this way. Scoot to the edge of your meditation seat so that sitting up is a little bit effortless. It just kind of helps lift the hips up. You want your hips to be a little higher than the knees or same level, but if you're not used to this position, the higher the hips above the knees, the better. The other way, if you have a bolster, is to straddle the bolster like this. But you want your bolster to be big. If it's a traditional meditation or a yoga bolster, then that works. But if you're using something like off the couch, those come in so many different sizes. So you know that it works if it's lifting you high enough so that there you can bring your fingers easily in between the crease, the knee crease, so that you don't want your like calves to be pushed in by the backs of the thighs at all. Okay, you don't want that pressure because that's gonna get uncomfortable after a while of sitting this way. So as long as you're high enough, kind of something like this with the bolster, if you're straddling. If not, take a traditional seat. And then if you need to pause this to get your seat together, go ahead, but we're gonna go ahead and begin. So wherever you are, close the eyes, and we're gonna start off with one round of Bhastrika, the bellows breath. So for this breath, you're focusing on inflating the belly at the belly button, so the center belly. You're gonna inflate that with your inhale and then push it back in with your exhale, keeping your inhales and exhales equal length. So if it helps, you can bring your palms to the belly button. And you're basically gonna breathe into your palms, extending the belly button out with the breath, and exhale, draw it all the way back in. So we'll begin now. And release the hands if you had them on a belly. Release the palms to the tops of the thighs or knees. And as you exhale, allow the breath to settle all the way down into the pelvis. Check your position. Make sure you're sitting tall in the spine so you're not just in a relaxed seat with a rounded back and shoulders falling forward. You're lifted in the chest and the spine, and the shoulders are relaxed. The navel's drawn in to support the torso being upright. For a few breaths, we're going to focus on breathing in the pelvis. So as you inhale, you're inhaling to inflate the space below the belly button only, so the breath doesn't rise above the belly button. It may almost feel like you're bearing down a little bit, and if so, then you're doing it right. And as you exhale, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, inflate the lower belly, breathing into the pelvis. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale to inflate the lower belly. Exhale, draw it in and engage the pelvic muscles. So we're adding something to the exhales here. Inhale to inflate the low belly and breathe into the pelvis. Exhale, draw it in and squeeze the pelvic muscles gently, so a Kegel. With each exhale breath for this remainder of this meditation. Now, as you inhale, gradually draw the breath up past the belly button. So inhale, feel the low belly and the pelvic bowl with breath, and then draw it up to the belly, upper belly. Exhale, draw the belly in and Kegel. Engage the pelvic muscles. Inhale, fill up the pelvis, the low belly, then above the belly button. Exhale, draw the low belly in and gently squeeze pelvic muscles. It's almost as if when you inhale, you release the pelvic muscles to open up the door to the breath to enter into the pelvis and fill up the pelvic bowl all the way up to the belly button. And then as you exhale, you close the door by squeezing the pelvic muscles and drawing the belly in as the breath descends back into the pelvis. Inhale to open the door, feel the pelvis, low belly, upper belly. Exhale, squeeze to close the door, gentle squeeze, draw the belly back in. And as you're doing that, gradually extend the breath further up, drawing it further up into the chest, or the ribs, first, and then the chest. So as you inhale, feel the lower belly, belly button, ribs. Exhale, close the gates, engage the pelvic muscles, and the breath descends. Do that a few times, drawing the breath up into the ribs to inflate the ribs. And then as you become comfortable in deepening the breath, extending it that way, then continue on into the chest. So inhaling to feel the pelvic bowl, the low belly, upper belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, squeeze the pelvic muscles, and everything deflates back to the center as the breath descends. So as you exhale, imagine that you're squeezing the muscles around the spine as you're engaging the pelvic muscles. And all of this is very gentle, so you don't have to strain or do it really hard. But what we're doing is we're massaging and activating the vagus nerve. So I'll stop my verbal cues and allow you to gradually build the breath on your own for a few cycles of breath. As that breath is rising, imagine that it's also extending the length of the spine, bringing the top of the head towards the ceiling. And as you exhale and squeeze and hug the spine with your muscles and engage the pelvic muscles, keep that length in your spine. Shoulders are relaxed, melting away from the ears. If you notice your chin is slightly up, just bring it slightly down. Now imagine that you have a little candle flame in your pelvis, in the center of the pelvis. And as you inhale, you're siphoning that flame up through the spine, all the way as you draw your breath up into the chest, the flame draws up. However high up you get your breath is how high up the flame rises in the spine. So if your breath is coming all the way up to the chest, the flame comes up through the spine to the point behind the chest. If you're drawing your breath up to the collarbones, then the flame draws up to the back of the neck. And as you exhale, the flame descends back down into the pelvis. Inhale to siphon up the flame gradually, slowly. Keeping everything gentle so as not to put the flame out. Now, as you siphon the flame all the way up the spine, imagine it draws all the way up to the back of the skull, igniting the midbrain, the space where the third eye lives. So if you drew a line from the forehead to the back of the head and from the left temple to the right temple, where the lines cross is the midbrain. And as you inhale, the flame, the tip of the flame draws all the way up, touching that space in the midbrain. Lighting it up, and as you exhale, the flame draws back down. Gently draw your inner gaze slightly up towards the space between the eyebrows as you continue with your breath visualization. And now release the visualization, release the control of the breath, but keeping the rhythm of the breath. Allow yourself to just marinate and float in the tranquil space that you've just created.